I literally screwed that up so bad. Today we're going to take a look at the updates that I've done to my OpenLabs MiKO, so stay tuned. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning into the show. My name is Marshall and welcome to my channel. This is an update video on the OpenLabs MiKO. I made a video on this about a month ago or so, and I wanted to talk about some of the upgrades I've done to this system. This is basically a custom keyboard MIDI controller chassis that houses a Windows-based PC. The original unit came with an Intel motherboard running Windows XP. The processor in that unit was a Core 2 Quad Q6600, I believe, 4 gigs of RAM. This has been substantially updated from that, and we can take a look here that the unit is actually running Ableton Live. Check that out. So I'm going to go through some of the cool things that you can do now on one of these after you've upgraded this. This one's running Windows 10. It's not running the top tier PC hardware. It is running something that's a little bit older because, as you know, computer components are a little hard to come by these days. But what I did is I did actually upgrade my main video production machine, which is running the show right now. And I took that old machine and put it in here, and it was probably 5 years old, 6 years, something like that. And we can take a look at the computer specs here in just a moment. But yeah, so basically this has been upgraded. I also made a modification on the back here. You can see I 3D printed a cover for this and designed it to where I can put a 2-inch diameter, rubber grommet type thing in there. And I've got some USB extension cables in there. So I literally have 8 USB connections coming out of the back of that. It's connected, those are connected to PCI Express cards, connected into the motherboard. This is something that eventually I'd like to make something a little more permanent with actual, type A ports on the back of the unit instead of cables coming out. But this works for now, and I think it'll be fine for my use case at the moment. But yeah, let's hop over to the screen share where I have Parsec installed. So now I can actually, because this is a modern system, I can remote in with Parsec. Now you can see that the resolution's a little funky, and this is because the screen is 4:3 aspect ratio. And I just want to take a look and show you some of the components in here. So this is the Passmark Software's performance test. I usually do these, run this application anytime I build a new machine. Obviously this is an older machine, but it should suffice in at least showing you guys what kind of hardware is on here. I think I have a little bit of time left on the trial. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, so let's take a look at the processor. I'll make this bigger for you guys. It's a little hard to read. This is a Core i7-5930K, 3.5 gigahertz. It's a Haswell processor, if I can speak. 22 nanometer. So again, this is a little older hardware, but compared to what was in there previously, it's way more powerful. NVIDIA GeForce GT 730. This was something I needed because the motherboard that's in there does not have a onboard graphics. Let me see if I can show you that. Yeah, it's a Gigabyte X99 UD3P-CF is the motherboard. This does not have onboard graphics, so I needed to get relatively cheap graphics card, something that had DVI and VGA, because those are the I/O ports on the chassis for video. There's an external VGA port, and then internally to get the onboard, the actual touchscreen to work, is a DVI connector. So that's what's in there. Running 24 gigs of RAM. This was actually a 32 gig pack, but when I built this for the other PC, when it was in the other chassis, one of the dim sticks just didn't work. I think it was defective, and instead of running 32, I'm just running 24. So there's 3 sticks at 8 gig each. You see DDR4 there. All right, so let's take a look at this. So one of the things I did want to call attention to is the Facebook group. There's a Facebook group, the OpenLabs MiKO and Neko Facebook group. I'll put a link in the description. Check them out. If you guys end up getting one of these and you want to upgrade it with modern components, the gentlemen over there were extremely helpful in my journey to getting this to work, because one of the biggest issues is software. So, yeah, the custom software that you need here, the OpenLabs M-Fusion software, is 100% necessary to be able to get functionality of the proprietary surfaces here. So if we switch back to this, the MIDI keyboard and the controllers and stuff will not work. The mouse and keyboard will work if you don't have M-Fusion, I believe. But obviously you get something like this, you want to be able to use the keyboard, you want to be able to use the control surfaces. So you need M-Fusion to do that. This is proprietary software from OpenLabs, but because they're not around anymore, you can't really get this to reinstall. Luckily, the gentlemen over on the Facebook group were able to facilitate that for me, and I got it to work. One of the things I was able to get my hands on was some additional software. The later versions of the MiKO and the Neko came with something called MusicOS, which is OpenLabs' version of a DAW, like a live performance type DAW. I have kind of played around with this. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll show you real quick. I made a little demo thing here. We'll check it out. All right, so when you first load up into this, it's going to show you, I mean, these are supposed to have categories and everything, but because I'm not using really any of the original plugins for the MiKO, I'm using my own third-party plugins. They're not really set to go into these different categories. I'm not sure if I can actually do that or not, if I can assign them categories. I would assume maybe. But again, I haven't really played around with this that much. But you can see here I've got like my Ops 7 plugin, which is like a DX7 emulation, D50, Juno 106, some Rolling Cloud stuff basically, Omnisphere, Mono, Poly, some Korg Legacy stuff, Wave Station, yeah. So that's pretty cool. But again, the interface here is a little bit cumbersome. I don't really know how to use it, and we should be able to load one of my demos that I made. Let's go cancel, and we'll go File, Open, Set, Open Recent Set. This is going to load a couple of plugins, and this will take just a little bit. And there we go. So let's open this up. This is MusicOS. Some other features and things in here, like I said, I don't really know how to do, but you can actually do sequencing in here and some other things. But what I really wanted to try was, you know, just a massive patch. Let's see if this works. Pretty cool. So again, that's that we've got four different plugins running here. Let's see if we can take a look at this. So we got a D50, and I don't know if I can solo from here. Again, sorry guys, I don't know how to use this very well. Live controls, no. Oh, so yeah, this was one of the other things. You can set up a grid and make your own kind of MIDI controller with and use the touch screen for that. I haven't gotten around to trying that. That might actually be useful for some things, but I have not actually done that. Let's go back to the tracks. And I think I can just solo this. So there's a D50. Right, let's unsolo. And then let's solo the next one, which is a Korg M1. A little bit of an organ type sound. We'll unsolo that. And well, just to show you, oops, I think I clicked on something that I didn't mean to. Again, this is new for me, not really any experience, but yeah, here's everything. That's the M1 in combi mode. Go back to tracks. I'm sure there's some shortcuts and things too that I just don't know. What is this one? This is Omnisphere. If it's going to load. Oh, and this is something that's kind of weird because even though I do have Omnisphere, there's some kind of weird thing where the version 2, well, the VST2 version and the VST3 version, I don't know. I don't think they're updating the version 2, the VST2 version any longer, something like that. So the other thing is because the screen is a different resolution, I don't know if I can adjust the size. It should be in here. But whatever. So yeah, that's the patch there. And I can switch over to this so you guys can get a little better view of the interface. But yeah, your plugins will load up in here. Let's go back to the tracks and let's check out the last one I have on here, which is the System 8. Some supersize for you. So, and again, the touch screen does work. So I can actually, can I do filter cutoff? Probably not very well with this interface, but let's see if I hold down the key. There we go. And this is where, you know, that custom control, live controls page would be nice. You can program in custom controls for filter cutoff and then have, you know, you can play and then use this to control certain parameters, modulations, things like that. So in some ways, I think this is pretty cool, and maybe I just need to spend some more time with it. It feels not super intuitive and it's a little cumbersome, and it doesn't run VST3, which is going to be a problem moving forward because all the modern plugins are now VST3s. So VST 2.0 is probably going to go the way of the dinosaur, RTAS. But so there's a little trip down that. We'll go ahead and exit. And you can write full songs in that. Like I said, it's seems like it could be interesting. I don't think it's, I don't know. I just need more time with it, I guess, to really give a full opinion. But my initial impression is it's not that great, which is why when you upgrade this and you put Windows 10 on here, you can launch Ableton, which is what I want to do. So switch over to the screen share and we'll fire up Ableton Live. This is Ableton 11 and we'll take a look. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen, Ableton 11. That actually loaded pretty quickly. And I've got some VST3 plugins here. I do have Reason on here as well, not only the, you know, as the plugin, but the actual DAW. Older versions of Reason I still kind of like to use from time to time, but the nice thing is Reason Studios, I think in version 11, allowed it to be used as a plugin. Like individual instruments could be dropped in and effects can be dropped in by themselves as, you know, as they should be. And I really like that. I think that was a good move on their part. But yeah. So let's load up some Omnisphere in Ableton. Now Omnisphere will eat this CPU for lunch still. It does seem to work okay on certain patches. Every now and then they'll hit something that's a little bit too much. So yeah, here's the magnify window. We can just decrease that. And there we're good. And let's hear some Omnisphere through Ableton, which, I mean, essentially this ends up being, you know, just a plug-in demo at some point. But let's hear it. Might be a little loud, sorry. It's loud because it is loud. And aftertouch is working. Pretty cool. Now I wonder if we can map like this cutoff. Can I right click? MIDI CC learn. Let's try and make this. There we go. Look at how easy that was. Now I got filter cutoff right here. I'll switch over to the screen cap. So I have mapped the filter cutoff, you can see moving there, to this controller. So now pretty gnarly. Boom! What a fun thing to do. Well, I think that's pretty much it. There is just one more thing I want to show you guys, and that is that this thing, because it is a PC, one cool thing that you can do is play games on it. So let's play some Doom, some Ultimate Doom from back in the day. I did load this off of Good Old Games. Technically, you could have done this with the old version as well, I'm sure, but I still think it's cool. It's a synthesizer that you can play Doom on. Like, what is that? And there it is in all its glory. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the OpenLabs MiKO can play Doom. The ultimate Doom. Let's load up a new game. There we go. All right. You guys all take it easy. Thanks for watching.
You